time.
Yeah, so you know Wonderland?
No, I haven't gone there.
Okay, yeah, she works there. She's a
That had me
bartender
confused
there.
because there was a Wonderland out here too.
There was.
Yeah, and then like some shooting happened or something like that.
Yeah, but
I
the-
believe
and they,
it.
but they,
I believe
but
it,
they were
yeah.
they were running it great because the dudes that own it were legitly shipping bitches from like
Shipping,
Puerto Rico.
Shipping bitches.
Sorry, FedExing or UPSing or flying in, however you want to put it, but from like
Nah,
Puerto Rico, these
yeah,
Latin countries come up here to
Yeah, we're
Turkish
recording.
shit.
Wait,
Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue. Suggestive dialogue. Suggestive dialogue.
hi everybody, this is Vianci from Let's Talk After Dark podcast, and with me as always,
Benny.
Maverick.
and we have our special guest Ruby. Hello. All right, this is the Let's Talk After Dark podcast where everything's on the nothing's off the table and anything goes. And today's topic is I have no fucking idea. So Mav, start us off.
Let's start off with our guest and do it right.
Hi,
Ruby.
Are we live? Like, is this live?
This is it. This is
All
this is
right.
No,
the-
it's not live. It's
okay,
recorded.
like
but
this will be edited and stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all live. Just take it as live. They're gonna hear
Okay.
everything
It won't be
you say
that-
as
The
it is.
marketing material will be edited.
So
but-
tell us a little bit about
Okay.
yourself. Let's start it off right with our guests.
What do you want to know?
Well, just give a little bio. Give a
a
short
little bio. Usually my bio goes something like, Ruby Monroe, your reigning Miss Gay Western Mass. She likes adobo sazon in her dancing and gives you a little bit of sofrito on the stage, like something like that. I usually try to keep it fun. I'm like always been a dancer. I love drag. I love entertaining. The applause just gives me life. Like, I just live it all with it. I don't know. There's so much to say, but it's like not the words.
We got a lot of time. Say that shit.
Okay. I don't know. If I had to like sum it all up, I love dancing. With Chibicon, I've been able to like just really not be in a box and kind of like they pushed me out of that.
Now, what's Chibicon?
Chibicon is the traveling cosplay show. So we travel to different states. We do a lot of college shows. The main thing we always try to get into was like the conventions, which we've gotten into Connecticut for like the past 2 years. So it's originally Titania Lockhart, Serenity Lockhart, Veronica Bow, Tito Midnight, and
And these are all other drags, just for our viewers not understand. Okay.
Except Tito. Tito's like very boy realness, although she's also known to dress up as Kara Midnight. So she does her thing. She comes out like once or twice a year when you get her on a good day. Yeah.
So in Chibicon, you're pretty much dressing up as anime characters. Or,
Yeah, we do cosplay.
Cosplay and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every show has a theme. Like our first season was superheroes, where I did Wonder Woman for my main look, and then I walked around as Batwoman. So we usually try to do like a walking, like interacting with people before the show type of costume where it's still in theme, and then we do like our big stuff and the main intricate and props and outfits like for the main stage. And then we also do a group number, so not a lot of girls do that.
Yeah.
So
So how long have you been doing drag for?
Also, Aaron Brockovich, who's now known as Peachy Cream, is part of them too. Yeah,
Is it Aaron Brockovich?
yeah.
Is that like that's hilarious?
Yeah. She changed it up now this year. Now she's Emprex of the Court of Western Mass, which I'm the Miss Gay Western Mass for that. So yeah. Lots of titles everywhere.
I see.
Yeah.
But yeah. How long have you been doing it for?
So this year they call me a seasoned queen, so I'm 13 years deep now.
13 years deep.
Yeah. And this is actually the first time you guys caught me in a break, like, because I rarely ever take breaks. It hurts my heart to say no to gigs. And you guys caught me on a break. I'm taking a break from November to like about the ending of February-ish, but I'm still working on like outfits, music, like props. Next year stuff. There's already bookings. Tito keeps us busy for sure. He does a lot of our bookings. All the colleges are usually like regular gigs, annual things.
Yeah.
The Prides are coming up as soon as I think Northampton Pride probably kicks off the season, usually around here. Yep, and they're the first weekend of May, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
So you've been doing this for 13 years?
Yeah.
Do you remember your first show?
I do.
How was it?
I think I always say my first show was in high school because in high school I was like one of the only ones really that was walking around and in the heels and flipping my hair and mini skirts and
killing it too.
I know. I thought it was Tyra Banks back then. I'm like, I gotta get to A.
Nobody can tell you shit. Right?
Dressing better than the regular bitches. You know what I mean?
And my feet hurt. That was a lot of practice. Yeah, but my first show I remember was Divas. So when I first turned 18,
Divas, Northampton.
in Northampton, yeah, they've been shut down for maybe like about 3
Was it like
years.
Divas and it was like 11, and then it just completely shut down, right?
Yeah, but I never got to 11. Yeah. But Divas, I definitely lived in there. That was like a home for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we grew the hell up in there and just changed, evolved in there. It was a good time.
It was a place not just for drags though, but a lot of women. I know a lot of young women who love going there because it was like an empowering thing. You know, which I always found kind of like ironic because you're being empowered by, you know, dudes dressed as women, and that's what it takes for you women to feel like.
But it's also like for women, right? Like for them, like to go to a place where they don't have to feel like they're being like. Mm-hmm. It seemed like a safe place for women to go.
Not being
you know
proud
what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean?
You don't have that weird dude that's like, excuse me, man, let me get by you.
Right.
There's mad room behind him, but he's right up on you. Like,
and you know, it's funny. I always used to go to a club around my early stages with one of my straight girls, Elba, and I don't know how she always used to manage to meet like a straight guy in there. Like whether it be Polo, it'd be like Shay S. I'm like, you go, girl. Yeah. Yes, but it was a home for a lot of people. Yeah, not just women and men, like just everybody in general. Like it was a good place. Yeah, but the first show, I was 18. I went in there, and I finally got in there because before that, I tried to get in with my cousin's ID, and they didn't even try to let me in. They were like, girl, bye. So I waited in the car. I was like, oh, it looks so fun. The lights are popping. I want to go upstairs. But I finally got to go in there when I hit 18, got my ID and everything. And all of a sudden, a drag show started. Yeah. And Jujubee, who was like in one of the RuPaul's Drag Race, she was up there. I remember, I always say this, I remember she did a Britney Spears mix. And then, woo. You okay?
Happy it wasn't me.
Hey. And
goddamn extension cord.
We're just breaking things everywhere.
That's all right.
You know, the sponsor will pay for it.
That was your.
I think we're the sponsor.
Oh man.
So I seen Jujubee, and she does this Britney mix. She ripped off this little skirt and everything. And I was like, this is a real thing. Because I think before that, I must have just seen like Tu Wong Fu, which was
Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo.
Yep, and Patrick Swayze.
That was a great fun
And
movie.
they were drag queens, Great movie. I used to call it the Bible. I still do.
That was a great movie.
It's one of like the gay Bibles or something. And
So because you brought that up, is it true that most men that do drag are gay?
No.
No, I mean, a lot of these questions too are for listeners because we have a lot of listeners who are probably like completely oblivious to the life, to what you do and everything. Like,
true.
They don't understand like
the culture,
and that you're Ruby, but you also have your other life too.
Yeah,
you know
my
what I mean?
Roberto side.
You get to live the best of both worlds.
I think it's
like
awesome that your drag name is Ruby and your real name is Roberto. Like that's fucking cool.
It took me a while to get there too. I went through a lot of names.
What were like some of the names?
What was
you
it for?
had?
Yeah. Come on, at least it was 5.
Okay. So there's not that many, but I knew I wanted to be like a stone originally, and I didn't want to just be like, a diamond or like, although, the girls that do wear those names, they wear them proudly, but I didn't want to be a diamond, but I wanted to be something, that's still, I don't know, I've always loved red too, so I was always attracted to ruby, and then my cousin and I went through that, and she was like, well, ruby, and you're always in red, la 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 la, and I was like, yeah, I like that, let's do it.
So I want to ask this question. When you were in high school, the first time you decided to come to school in drag, how much, like that, because and this was years ago. Like, how were you nervous about that? Oh, were you just like
really
fuck it?
nervous? But I was like, fuck it.
I'm gonna do me, right?
Yeah.
It's like what was going through
like,
your mind the
nobody
whole
can
like,
tell
cause
me
like
nothing.
I'm gonna be real. Like back in high school, if I had like a sweatshirt that was like a little dingy, I was like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like I could imagine like coming to school the very first time like that. Like what was going through your head?
So I remember I wore these like pink camouflage pants and like a black shirt or something, and it was a pep rally. So it was like not only was I just showing up to school, but then we had a pep rally. It was everybody was in the gym, yeah. So it was like a grand entrance on top of everything. It was like welcome, yeah. Like oh, this was my first gig. So I wore these like high. I was asking my mom for these high, like black leather boots for a long time because I was doing it like behind closed doors all this time, like close the door, like play with makeup. I was always like putting like sheets around my waist.
And this was just in the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Late 90s.
Yeah.
So how was your mom with all this? Was she cool?
Mom kind of I think always knew, but it was like me just telling it to her and just like living my truth and really like coming to light and everything. Yeah, because she was pretty accepting. She's not accepting of the lifestyle and like things that come with it, but she loves me and she accepts everything I do. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So she's always like, you know, I love you. I don't like that, but I love you, and you look fierce. So keep doing it. You know.
Can you show the camera your ring?
Yeah.
Because I fucking love that Pokemon.
Yo, he has the Pokeball ring.
These are, I believe, if I remember, like in Swarovskis. So they're like different Swarovskis, yeah, and then it's dipped in the gold and everything. Actually, our Chibicon manager, Tito Midnight, he makes these. He has a line. This is from his line Pixelux, and he custom makes everything.
So you're going to have to drop that Instagram name right
now.
Yeah. So I can
Pixelux
look on that and get
for
that.
sure. Yep, Instagram, Facebook. It's a lot of stuff. He custom makes thing. He has a lot of different things, yeah. I have earrings and things from him. He's really good. He works with a queen who does well, I don't know if she's really a queen, but she's a queen in my eyes. But from Fierce Drag Jewels, I believe, the one that makes the crown for RuPaul Drag Race.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Nova Star.
Yes. And because you brought that up, that's one of my questions was. So last year, you know, RuPaul made a comment about how, you know, trans and cis people he didn't want in his show.
I know.
It's been a year since. Has that changed? Like well, the true question is, how do you feel?
May I fix your mic?
Better?
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry about that. How do you feel like now, you know, now that you have like people that are like transgenders and that's coming into the drag world now?
I think she should definitely be accepted, everybody, because drag is such a big art form. Like, I don't understand why she would. I mean, maybe she sees drag in a whole different, you know, I'm not in her head. I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I think anybody should be able to. I mean, you got bio queens nowadays, bio kings. You have, you know, such a big art in drag. Like, anybody could do it.
So explain to like the people listening, what's the main point of drag?
I think the main point of drag is entertaining the audience, to me.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of people think of it like, you know, I'm just going to cut you out real quick. Just tell you things I've read.
By the way, we cut each other off all the time.
I love it. I notice. I'm like, oh, wait, did I answer that question?
Yeah. I know. Like, a lot of people, when they say, like, you know, they see drag, they think, oh, well, they just really want to come out and it's hard for them. But some people like having two lives. Some people like being able to be a man, and they also like being able to be in their character, you know, or
I feel like that keeps people young.
It does.
I feel like that shit keeps people young. It's like a creative outlet, right?
Honey, I am 32 years old next January, and I'm still getting carded.
I'm 32 now, and I still get carded.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'll gladly go to the car. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yes. Time.
But that's what it is. It keeps us young. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a creative outlet. Like, most people need that shit. You'll go crazy in life if you don't have a creative outlet.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what I mean? To get up on stage, it's like being a musician. You get up on stage and you just have a good time. You start losing sight of like the real life,
you just
the real
that,
world.
it's that energy that's coming back at you.
You just zone in, man. And it's fun.
from my first show, I just wanted to get on stage. Like, I'm like, I just want to get up there. So when I finally got up there, it kind of became a drug.
Yeah.
Like the rush and
seeing everybody clap
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like when you're good and you feel that.
And you're like giving them that, and that crowd's giving it right
and you
back
give
to
it right
you.
back.
And everybody's there
And it
to
just
see
makes
you.
you go
Yeah.
harder. And you got your people watching.
Yeah.
And everyone, it just
it's
makes
a
you go
different,
so
it's
hard.
a different world, man. It's awesome.
It is. It's definitely an experience.
So, what do you like going by, or do you even care?
I personally don't care. Like, I have a lot of people that do, like, ask me, even in my regular job, like, they're like, do you go by? I'm like, I really don't care. Like, I've always called all my girls, my boys, girls. Sometimes, like, some of my boys, like, I'd be like, girl. And they're like, and I'm like, boy. Like, I personally don't care. I don't really get too picky when it comes to that, but I know that some people get really offended.
Yeah.
Especially now with like the non-binaries, the he, she, them, they. Like, I personally haven't kept track of it too close like that, but I do take in consideration, and I will, like, if you tell me you want to go by they or he, him, whatever, I will respect that.
Yeah.
And that's you. And you know what I'm saying? Live your best life. I don't know. I know some people get really offended, though. And that's something that when we're hosting, we have to take in consideration, too. Because even just saying girl or honey, like some people are like,
get really upset.
It could be touchy, yeah.
Yeah. Very touchy. When we do the college shows, like, I have to, keep it in check because you have so many different people in the crowd that you don't want to offend.
How do you live?
It's so hard. Before it was kind of like, hey, bitches. And now it's like, oh, don't say that either. In the clubs, it's a little more lenient, I think, like the nightclubs and everything, because that's like just
Everybody's
a party
drunk
environment. A lot of people, are drunk. By the time you get on stage, they're like gone. It's last call. And they're just enjoying the show.
Enjoying the moment. Yeah, because all those... I want to say guards are down. You know what I mean? Because you always notice you accidentally say someone, oh, excuse me, miss. Then they get upset. They're like, no, I'm not. I'm just injured. You know what I mean?
I'm not a miss.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I'm sorry, sir. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they get mad right off the bat instead of like explaining and just let me know what you'd like to be called.
It's a simple conversation and clarity.
Yeah.
So for me to keep it neutral for myself and not get in trouble, sometimes like, hey, honey. Yeah,
that's smart.
Honey.
That's smart.
Hey, baby.
I'm not a honey.
Yeah. I'm not your honey.
I'm not your honey.
Back up.
But it's like not a foreign thing for like the masculine nature of black men in America. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where a lot of like, I feel like it's either that or like the Confederate waving Southern flag kind of guy. Like, there is such a fear of being perceived as anything less than the strongest man in the room kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in black men. And I feel like it creates a lot of animosity.
That's why we have Atlanta.
Okay.
Word.
Okay.
Word. But that's very true.
Like
Like
win fabulous.
but like that that's very prevalent in like black men. It's like, God forbid. And I feel like that has been bred because I remember I was hanging out with my friend. And his girlfriend called him out on something that he did, which just happened to just not seem like the most masculine thing in the room. Like, no, I can't do that. Like, or can you fix that? Or I can't do it. Oh my God, like, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to be a man. Like, like I feel like a lot of that has been like instilled not just on black men, but through pressure of black women too. You know what I'm saying? Like amongst black men. Like, God forbid you seem anything less than feminine.
Right.
Like, as a black man, you have to let your unibrow grow in because God forbid you get that. You know what I mean? Like,
He's a little bit.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand that because like my eyebrows are never, they're naturally nice. You know what I mean? They're naturally nice. And the
you're
thing
like
is,
Luke Cage.
But see,
Like,
the thing is about
I
it,
woke
though,
up with these brows.
in high school, though, like
I
people were
woke
always
up
so
like
confused.
this because you fell asleep with him.
They're sitting.
You ever fell asleep with your makeup and wake up and look like something completely different?
Yo, oh my goodness. My birthday party, one of my birthday parties. She woke up, honey.
And you're like, she has to go.
The eyelash was on the.
I can't.
Yeah, it was like by the
Your
foot.
pillow was like 5 different colors.
Yeah, the whole runningness of it. Is
You
like,
just woke
what
up Harley
are you
Quinn.
doing? It's like, I don't remember what happened.
Now, is your energy the same when you're Roberto?
I think it might be like half-ish.
So you're a little more reserved.
Depending, because I'm still a little cray-cray when I'm Roberto. I think, yeah. Although the hair comes on and then it's like, like on stage is a whole different like character too.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, let me hear you scream. Like it's just like, so extra.
Yeah.
It's very like comedic-ish party, like
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
So
I always want everyone to have fun.
Do people accept you more when you do it as Ruby? Like, you know, that whole energy of, hey, you know, going out, than if you were to be Roberto, you're that crazy guy screaming.
See, this is crazy because even during high school, like when I finally got in there or whatever, like I didn't have as many problems. I think it's because of that personality thing. Like I was such a class clown and stuff like that, that like it kind of like carries over to nowadays. And like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like I didn't have as many problems as some of the other ones that I used to say get bullied.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, so your personality always shined through.
It did.
And it carried
like,
over.
So many people were like, I don't know, like attracted to it in a way. They wanted to protect it in some way. Like I always felt like kind of protected.
Yeah, because you were basically the coolest person at school.
It was so weird. It was so weird. Like I never understood it. I thank God for it
because you were so nice to
I was saying,
everybody, but you were fun. You know what I mean?
And you didn't
I've
you didn't
always tried to stay
care.
humble with
You
my
didn't
shit,
judge
yeah.
anybody. It seems like.
I try not to.
Yeah.
Like
even the weirdos you were nice to.
I love weirdos. I'm all about weirdos.
You're gonna shoot up the school?
Yeah, the creepy weirdos.
Yeah, like there was this one girl and I love her. I still see her from time to time and she was so quiet. Yeah. And I'd always turn around, hey girl, what you doing? And it was like no words. She was not going there, honey. It's like if I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not talking to you either. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like trying to get a high or something. Like
High school was such a rough time. High school was so rough.
It was rough.
High school was fucking tough.
High school
I had
traumatizes
good
people to
around me for the most part. Like I would, let's say we were walking down the hall or something, and some freshman, somebody who was like naive and didn't know and was like aware, was like faggot. And before I could even turn around to even think of what to say, like Vanessa or somebody else was like, like in their face, and like I'm like, oh. Like, I'm like, what just happened? Like, I don't know. It was so.
You said you felt protected.
I did. Sometimes overprotect, especially from family.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. I thank God for that every day. Like it was a good circle.
I want to get back to your shows.
Yeah.
What was like a rough, like, because I used to be a musician.
He used to be a musician.
I used to be a musician.
He used to be. He just comes
What
out the
kind of
closet every once in a while.
I sing.
You sing?
Yeah, but like I used to sing.
He used to sing.
Hold on.
But
Can
like
we sing a little bit right now?
nah, it's not happening because I quit.
He quit. Yeah.
Like thanks.
So when you drop that next album?
Never.
Right.
Nebuary.
Be a song out tomorrow.
Nebuary.
Singing about how he quit.
On iTunes tonight.
I know.
Yes.
But like what was like your worst experience on stage?
On stage.
Or has it always in the last 13 years been fabulous?
No, it hasn't always been fabulous. I think one of the worst things that could happen to you is either your nut and tuck comes out of your like situation.
Oh shit!
Which luckily that one hasn't really happened. Like sometimes there was meaty tucks and meaty bulges in the beginning because she didn't know about tape and stuff like that. She used to say,
wait. You guys do use tape down there?
Yeah, you can. Nowadays I'm into
shave
padding.
like a motherfucker right there.
Some people do, some people don't. I used to like when I used to actually tape. It was before I got into padding and body and stuff like that, and I would leave a patch on the top because I felt like it was like a grip on the tape. So when you pull back, well, it was kind of like waxing at the same time. It's like a Band-Aid. So
you always taped it standing up against it, or taped it to the thigh. Like, how did this tape like?
No, it would just be like in the butt crack. So I would take 3 strips of tape, like 1 in the middle, 2 on the sides, and make a triangle, right? And then I would put it on the top base. You grab your nuts, you like kind of push them up. You not fold the ball sack, but like you kind of like smush it up there.
It's painful.
Yeah, was it
It's
painful?
not painful. It's actually less painful than you think.
Because I know like when you have a
if you have
hard on, you just pull it to the top with your belt. Like,
I know that's right.
Put it in your
Put it right there, waistband.
in your belly.
No, it's not like that.
the friction of moving around.
I don't think you never want to tuck when it's hard though. It's like if it's not going nowhere, that's gonna be a bulgy tuck.
I'm learning here.
The dick would just get like you would I would put the base on the top, and then as that's tucked in, you would like kind of wrap, or I would wrap the tape around the dick, and then you kind of like cradle it and then pull up with the rest of the tape behind.
That is so
and you
much
pull
work.
it up the butt
tape in
crack
your
like
asshole?
that. Pretty
So
much.
it's like a
'cause then
thong. It's like a
it's
G-string
almost like
up
a G-string,
your ass.
yeah.
They don't make
Yeah.
like a special thing for that?
They do, but I was like not about that.
Got you.
They do have different things where like it goes to the side.
Yeah.
But I never used that.
You ever got
I
hard
thought that was
while
weird.
you had that on?
Yes.
Rip the tape out, then it's like
You can feel it loosening up because like it's up the butt crack and then you cut the top. So all of a sudden the tape is like coming down.
down
and
your
stuff.
ass.
But see, the trick was to put like 2 panties. I would put 2 panties on that were like a size smaller than what I really
hold
am,
everything
to
in, yeah.
hold everything in place. Yeah.
Does that make your dick bigger? Because I might have.
I don't know if it does, but you could try.
I'm just saying. Some
Man's
fellas
gonna be home like,
Okay.
yo, Rosa.
Yo,
Forget
tape.
Forget the pump. Get me some tape.
give me some tape.
Give me some tape.
Something new today.
For real. But
Come out looking like he's wearing
there's
a diaper
different
and
ways.
shit.
Yo, for real. So now since we also talk about costume. All right.
Mhm.
You present yourself and you have boobs. I was trying to wonder the whole
Matt,
time.
fix your mic.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah,
I've been trying to wonder the whole time.
the boobs.
The boobs.
The boobs.
Like, did
Which
you have
I got
boob-
dressed today, right? And then I noticed I was like, oh, I didn't even put my bra on. I was like, you know what's fine. I'm gonna give androgyny realness. It's fine. I'm like the State Street Forest Park girl right now
Yeah.
who's going to the Level Up audition.
Yes.
Hey Sierra. Okay, sorry. What was the question?
It was about the boobs.
Oh, the boobs.
The
yes.
boobs.
So my bra is made out of bird seed. I don't have it on today, but it's made out of bird seed, and it's pretty much like an inside out bra.
Yeah.
You cut the lining, you make your boobs mine are made out of bird seed. It's like about maybe 5 pounds each side.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because you want a hefty bag. Yeah, because you want to like proportionize
You
how
like
they
tipping
say.
over and shit?
No, I don't, but I know one of my beach has does. Her shits are like really heavy and like she's over it.
But my thing is, you show cleavage, like
favorite-
everything.
that's
I'm looking at your
episode
pictures.
Oh, the
and I'm
cleavage
legitimately
is
trying-
fun.
Yo, bro,
The
like,
cleavage
is that
fun.
all couture, all makeup to make
It's
that look?
contour, blush, and highlight. Yeah.
Wow. 'Cause-
But then what happens is that since I have a little bit of meat here, when I have the bra and it's so firm, it's like sewn inside the bra and you seal it back up. So when you put it on, you kind of lift this meat up and leave it on top like that. So then once you
So I got a
paint-
lot of meat, so I can have like a good.
You
side.
can have some ill
can have some ill
boobage in
boob.
there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to have
With
some-
a little bit of highlight and some
Yo,
contour,
let's go
honey,
catfish some niggas. I'm ready. I got bills to pay. Christmas is
Okay.
coming.
That's a woman, Maury. Maury, that's a
Man
woman.
got a natural solid C cup.
I know.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's a lot of it is a lot of like not airbrushing, but you want to blend that shit out too.
So
Depending on the look you're
How
going
long
for.
does it take you altogether to get ready for a show?
Well, when I paint, I do from like the top of my forehead down to the bottom of my chest
Gotcha.
because of the boobs and
Yeah, yeah.
everything. I do the shoulders, the whole neck gets done. I mean, everything from here, depending on the look anyway. But usually like this is like my basic little daytime look.
Mhm.
So this was like maybe like 45 minutes ish. But I take my time. You want to take your time. You don't want to just throw on some makeup and just be like, I'm pretty, you know? A good look for me, like, is usually an hour and a half, depending on what show. Yeah. Because I have like my Ronald McDonald. That one takes a little bit of time because you got to set the white.
Yeah.
And you want to really like just set it. You want it to sit and have a good base. You don't want to look cakey and just streaky. It's crazy. But a little bit of clown white goes a long way, honey. Yeah.
So when you first started, how long would it take you? Like when you start actually putting on the whole outfit,
like the whole
thing.
Oh, that's a couple hours.
So all right, how long does it take you now to do it? Just a couple hours or the hour?
Still
and a half?
a couple hours, yeah.
Okay, so when you first started, how long did it take you?
Like half an hour for everything, because I thought I was a woman, honey.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
He was
lip gloss. I take my red lipstick and pound it on the cheek like it was blush and just some.
You were working with what you had.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go up on stage with glasses in the beginning. Glasses, no contacts, no eyelashes. I was like, ew, I would never do that. I said never to a lot of things that I do nowadays, and they're like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like the contacts, the lashes, the body, the corsets, the bra
So
situation.
you do a body and corset.
I do body nowadays, yeah. Those hips are dope. I got addicted. I've been padding for 3 years now. 10 years out of it, I always shave my legs. I was like, I'm not doing that. It was literally a fight to get me to try it on.
Do you like shave your arm, like your whole body and everything?
My whole body used to be shaved, head to toe, not head, but yeah. yeah. Like, yo, it was a fight. Literally, it was a fight to get me into that because I was like, no, ew. I always loved showing bare leg. Like, the whole jiggle was good. There's old videos where like I just shake the booty like nothing and everything. Yeah. But the padding is everything. It gives you like the illest fantasy. It brings a whole different fantasy and character to life. It's so pretty.
It's crazy.
I literally turned around on the highway. I was halfway through. I turned my ass all the way fuck back around because I left my body at home. I was like, no. I refuse. I'm so addicted. So with the body, you don't even have to shave. No. Check this out. Oh, there's hair, honey. Like,
so the body, it has like it has leggings and everything. Put it on, it covers everything. So
I have 2 layers.
So like Mr. Doubtfire's real then.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That's the real dude.
That was an awesome reference, by the way.
Yes.
I was thinking because I was thinking like when you get these bodysuits, do you actually have to be measured out to them, or do they have like it's like shopping for clothes? Like
my body was Tito makes our bodies to like our own bodies, so everyone has like a different length because
Tito sounds like the creative genius.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Tito.
He's taught me a lot.
You gotta have him on the show.
Yeah.
I have to have him come up
Yeah.
here.
He will tell you A, B, C to Z. Like, yes.
So how much does something like that cost?
Word.
A body can run. It depends on like how big it is, I guess. How big the slab is, because the slabs come in like.
So bigger girls gotta pay more.
Yeah. Yes. Our plus size girl, Veronica, she's Miss Thick and Juicy. She's actually doing a pageant next year. Shout outs.
Thick and juicy.
Her body is made of like pretty much 4 different parts because she's a big girl. So she has her hips, and then the booty is 2 different sets too.
She has 1 ass cheek and 2 ass cheek that connects together.
Well, she has like a whole hip booty, which is 1 whole piece. Well, 2 pieces on each side.
Yeah.
And then the booty are like these 2 other separate parts that go on top.
Imagine grabbing her ass and it falls out in your hand.
No, it will never fall out. Never. With other layers that go on top, they'll never fall out.
I coined the name of the episode today, by the way.
What?
Hefty Bag. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hefty bag.
Hefty Bag.
Hefty. So with the layers though, you have I have 2 pairs of dance tights, so it's 2 capizios, and then 2 layers of pantyhose that go on top, and they smooth it all out, and it gives you like that nice forward. And then when you put your corset on, it brings your waist in, and then it just gives you all that nice that hourglass body.
So, I do have a question.
Tell me.
All right.
Ask me.
Have you ever did it in your bodysuit?
Yes, and I call it the banana split, actually. It's the funniest thing in the world.
You know what? This is one of those things. Like you're in costume, you're in thing. Like what if somebody wants to fuck
Sometimes
Ruby?
You want to get freaky deaky.
Yeah.
So hilarious, right? I have this story with the girls. I won't say who it is, but I was with this dude and he wanted it, and I was all about it. It was one of those nights where she was feeling juicy. So, you're getting undressed, right? And you have to pull down all the tights. So as I pulled down all the tights, the body was like stuck to the sides. And as I'm pulling down the tights, the body goes... So I call it the banana split.
So it's just out like that, and you're just there. He just
Yeah, and the guy's like, damn, that's sexy. And I'm like, all right.
I will never peel a banana the same way again.
Same
now.
way ever.
Every time I do it, I'll be like, how do you feel?
Hey, Ruby.
Down the hatch.
Yes. Then I have this hilarious story too, right? I was getting freaky deaky when I was like younger, right? Before I did the real browness that I have nowadays, it was 2 different pads that, I would
Correct.
put
Yeah,
in
yeah,
here.
yeah.
That was a mess. So I go to take off my bra, right? Boom, boom. And all of a sudden I take off the bra and both titties fall out. Boom, boom. On the floor. Whole sound effects and everything. Boom, boom.
Priceless.
And it went down, yeah.
It still went down.
It went down.
I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
I sincerely believe nothing will stop a man.
Yeah, the banana split.
I like the banana split. That sounds.
It's a good time.
It sounds like ice cream, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ice cream and cookies.
Some milk and cookies.
Oh man. I mean, well, since we're at the sex questions,
I like all the flavors.
All the flavors. So, are you single?
No, not currently.
Not currently.
Mm-mm.
Now, here's the thing. Now, a lot of people feel like because people do drag and stuff like that, they are monogamous. Is that true, or is that like false, or it depends on the people themselves? Like,
it depends on the people. Some of them are just, they're not about it at all. Some of them are.
Yeah.
I found it very hard. The last
Monogamy
13 years,
or polygamy?
just even meeting and talking to somebody.
Facts.
Because there's people that fall in love with Ruby and don't want nothing to do with Roberto.
And
then the vice versa. Like there's people that love Roberto and don't want nothing to do with Ruby.
So how's that worked out?
It's been a tough road.
Have you ever? I pretty much I know you tried it, but how? Like you might explain in one of your relationships, just kind of like giving us a little insight on it. Like how was it going back? Like if someone doesn't like Ruby or someone doesn't like Roberto,
it's a bitch.
How do you like? You have to always keep
it's
that
emotionally fucked up.
Yeah.
It's really sad sometimes.
Because the thing is, at the same time, even looking at you, shouldn't the person like know like they have to love both sides? It's like loving, it's like loving a mom but not loving her kids.
And there's been times where I meet someone and they fall in love with Roberto, and literally like I would used to hide like all the drag stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Because it was like something I would gradually kind of get to, and then when I would get to, it's like, oh, you do drag, deuces. It's really tough.
No, what was the turnoff with that?
But that's a part of who you are.
Yeah,
You know
but some
like,
people just don't want to.
Fuck
there
them,
was
right?
times where they would be like, oh yeah, I'm okay with it. And then it would come to the time where I'm like, oh, I'm going to make this outfit and do this thing and
really
do it
about to
look
get
like
it done,
this.
you
And
know what I'm saying?
they'd be like, I don't want to hear anything about that. And
It's
I'm
a part
like,
of who-
damn.
it's like a part of your life, like,
yeah. Like,
yeah, because it's
you have to
artistry. It's
accept
like
me.
being
You
a
have to accept
painter.
all,
Nobody wants to look. You're making music, but then your girl's like,
I
don't know.
Right.
made.
Made music, and then people are like, I don't want to listen to your new coming up music or.
Yeah, it was really tough. It was a really tough 13 years. This guy that I'm talking to now, that I've been talking to for a little while now, like, he's everything. He actually, like, brushed this hair out for me. He sprayed my face. Like, he's all about it.
Oh, shit. You got to keep her?
Yeah.
So,
he's a
but
keeper.
that's cool.
There has been,
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
some here and there along the way that were, like, kind of cool with it, but they were, like, weird.
Can we talk about the weird ones, like the guys who are only interested in sleeping with
with just Ruby? Yeah,
yes. you know
honey,
there's I was saying you're probably flooded because there is a culture
The
of people who
tranny
just
chasers are real.
love they just
or I should just say the chasers.
because they're normally straight men married, but they have this thing for like drag
the whole
or
fantasy.
any androgen. I can't say that.
And it's like before you even get a hello, it's dick pic. I'm like, oh, that looks ashy. Yeah. Do you have lotion, honey?
Is it ashy or leftovers from the other lyric?
It's like a vomit.
So have you ever taken advantage of somebody that's been chasing you? You know what? Like maybe
I need some bills paid.
I have met up in the past. I have met up with certain them that were like really cool and like nice and cordial and stuff. There were those freaky times but I never like pursued or they're not around, so they didn't last.
No, I'm saying you ever got hit up and like, this could be fun.
Yeah, like, oh, he's mad cute for real. Ew. Nah. There's been a lot of no's along the way because it's just that's what they want. It's what it is. A lot of them are like, "Oh, come on, dress up for me," and I tell them off the bat, I'm like, "I'm not a real girl," because a lot of them like swear I'm trans and stuff because like the woman effect. But no, I tell them right off the bat, I'm like, I'm not a girl, and I don't do this. I don't do Ruby for your sexual kicks or your sexual pleasures. I do Ruby for competitions, entertainment, getting paid. And they're just like, I'll pay you. And I'm just like, oh, see, now you're like getting me like, yeah.
Now it's different because
I'm just going to block you.
Yeah,
like, now you're just being rude. Right.
I'm like,
there's been a lot of
there's some, I know some girls who do that because they're behind on bills. They fall for that. You know, they go for it.
And they get their sexual kicks too, but that's not me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, honey. And then you go into their friends page and stuff, and you could tell they're like adding all the other queens around and stuff like that. I'm like, oh yes, chase their hard body. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's been a funny ass road to get here. Bet. It's been crazy.
I could imagine, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, rough sex or love making, fellas and ladies?
Good question.
Now, going back to that, do you prefer when you're as Ruby say lady, or you prefer fellas, or you don't? Is it like?
I mean, my best friends still call me Berto, even I'm full face and stuff like that. They'll be like, "Hey, Berto," and I'm like,
"Bitch,
what up?" What's your preference, man?
My preference?
Yeah, what's your preference?
So this is why I had to ask the question, because I was caught in the middle of it because I like being in charge sometimes of the rough, but I also don't because the thing is like, I don't want to
up,
huh?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Hey.
So 2 thumbs up is Mav talking about putting thumbs in his butt.
Oh, I know about that.
You know,
let me tell you, honey.
Or so bottom top, if you mind.
Verse.
Ooh.
Yeah, verse. I like a little bit of everything. I like
I feel that's how life should be.
I like to bottom.
Like,
yeah.
It should just
in the beginning, I was all about bottoming.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was all about bottoming. I was like, yes, hoarder.
So here it goes. This is where my thing of being rough or not, right?
Yeah.
I like rough, and I do love the love. Like I love all of it.
Because
when it's like
right?
rough and all of a sudden it gets real slow, it's like, oh shit, that's a different feel. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it's like,
I mean,
don't stop.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's okay, man.
Mav knows. Mav knows.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being pegged, guys. You guys gotta get into that.
I didn't say there was.
You don't get a strap on. You'll check. Your music will come back. You'll be hitting those notes.
This is not my thing.
You'll be hitting notes you didn't know you had. Hey, okay.
Not my thing. Not my thing. High five to you. Not my thing, but high five to you. Benny, you?
What?
Preference. Oh. Benny lost complete track of what he's talking about. So maybe that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
I mean, it all depends on the situation, like what's going down.
You gotta read the body language, right? Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that.
Because there's times, my wife's been like harder. I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing harder.
Maybe with a brick.
But sometimes, don't you ever feel sometimes you're going, you're giving it your hardest, but you're just tired?
When she's drunk, it's a wrap.
She's like, yo, punch me in the jaw.
She's
like,
no, slap me.
And it's not, you give a slap, it's like, no, slap me hard. It's like, bitch, I'm gonna go to jail.
I was like, right,
I'm trying not to leave marks on you.
Crazy mark on you and shit.
But she's like, harder.
Yo, you ever been asked to choke somebody? And you don't know, like,
how hard
or you're choking hard and they say harder, you're like, you're about to die.
Like, you're turning purple. Like, what's going on?
I'm getting, like, the harder you ask me to choke you, I'm getting angrier. Like,
why aren't you satisfied?
But bitch, why are you still breathing?
Right. Like, PTSD and shit.
Oh, damn.
Like, military, man.
I'm with Benny, yo. You got to read the situation.
Mm-hmm,
you got to read the situation. You got to know what it's calling for.
Usually when they're drunk, they like it harder.
You know what I'm saying? The other day, my booski's like going in, and like all of a sudden he got real nice and slow, and I'm like thinking he's gonna stop, and he actually brought it up to me. He's like, "You're like, don't stop," and I'm like, "Yeah, don't stop. What are you doing?"
So does Ruby and Roberto have two different styles they like? Have you ever noticed that? Like sometimes when you're Roberto, do you like a certain?
I thought in the beginning that I was only like bottom, but then one day I'm like in full guiche and this dude just turned over, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Wow, you're in full suit?
Full guiche. Full
you
geese.
That tape off, huh?
Bucket naked.
Yeah.
Bucket naked, honey. Full face, hair still on tight. You can feel my tracks under everything. Yes, don't touch the hair, right? And then, and he just like literally turned over, and I was like, oh, okay. And we just went in, and then after that, I was like, "Oh, this is dope!" Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka.
I hear the sound effect.
I know. I could never listen. Has anyone ever pulled your hair off?
That you didn't do yourself?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because you know that's like that's been like the thing.
They've held it and pulled it up and sometimes out of the way and everything, but they haven't pulled it off. No, that's disrespectful. I think the fantasy would be over for them if they did pull it off. If anything, they probably wouldn't want to go.
They want you to be Ruby.
Yeah.
They're like
those times.
And that's when
there's been times where I'll lay up in bed and I still have my hair on. As the next morning, I'm like, this hair is so itchy. I'm like, I need to take this wig off. I have 5 o'clock shadow. Fuck. How do I get out of here? Good times.
That's hilarious.
What hotel am I at?
Have you ever completely like curved somebody by like going back into Roberto and they not realizing and then walking right past them? Have you ever?
Say, honey, fuck off.
I'm gonna go eat breakfast. You know, in the beginning, like I used to walk around 24/7, and like dudes would be like, yo ma, what's your name? They'd be after me. I'd be with like my friends or my sister or something, and they would get a kick out of it because these guys were so persistent. It's like they don't even know. So they would come right up to me, yo ma, like I'm trying to holler at you, and I'm just like, Roberto. And they're like, oh, they're running back to the friend. That's a dude.
Do they cuss you out afterwards too because they're mad?
I don't think I've gotten cussed out.
I
think they're more embarrassed, if anything.
No,
I'm done.
No, so here's the thing: like me and my wife will be walking, right? Sometimes I'll have my hair down straight and stuff like that. We're just walking, you know. So dudes they'll obviously think probably I'm the gay guy with my wife. So they're hollering at her. So I play the role. If you can holler at her, you're not gonna be respectful enough to holler at me. I accept. So I'll turn around and be like, well, am I not good enough? You know, put a fuck you, you fuck. People get mad. Like,
I don't
but
know
if you're hollering,
again, it's a very dangerous trait for a lot of urban men to not be perceived as anything less than strong.
So that's what it is because it's hitting their egos.
It's a fear.
Their egos. They get embarrassed.
But I don't know why
if they're with their friends, forget about it.
I don't because God forbid you get cracked on.
I don't know why it's a fear when we all know like almost 75% of hood dudes have bisexual tendencies.
Oh, honey, I know them. I know a few of them. I know about like 65%.
These are like the hardcore real nigga type dudes, but really they're like, yo, can you,
they're also in here too.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
So, question: how do you feel about the word faggot?
You know, it used to bother me in the beginning. It used to bother me, and I used to go crazy. Call me a faggot again, motherfucker! I'll fuck you up. And then, honestly, like, I just didn't give a fuck after a while. Like, it doesn't get to me like it used to. Like, now I actually, like, laugh in their face. I'm like, honey, you don't think I know what I am? Like, if anything, I'm the faggot, okay? I'm your former Miss Northampton Divas. I'm your current reigning longest Miss Gay Western Mass. Yes, I am a faggot. How dare you? Thank you for noticing. Like, if anything, call me a queen. Like, what's up? They think they're like getting to you. They do get to some of us, you know, and I hate when some of mine break character for anyone like that because they're not worth it. They're not worth it. So the best thing that I found like along the way is like you laugh in their face, they don't even know what the fuck to do with themselves afterwards. Like they just feel stupid
or killing without a reaction.
Like imagine me coming up to someone, straight guy, like hey, why you so fucking straight? You like bitches? Like, that's so rude.
Just kill him without a reaction.
I know.
That's hilarious.
I might have to do that next time. Y'all giving me ideas.
I'm telling you, it's a dangerous trait. It's a dangerous trait. God forbid you embarrass a straight man in front of his boys, like you said.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous trait.
Yeah,
And
and
they all want to jump in afterwards. Forget about it.
Right.
Some of my babies have gotten so fucking jumped.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
All because they're embarrassed. Like, that's crazy.
I feel really bad because during one of the times we were skipping, it was me, my gay friend, and then one of our girls. I don't remember who else was with us, but we're skipping through the park, and these dudes come out with knives, and I always have my hair really long, so I have this long ass hair. My friend has, his hair dyed, a lot of jewelry. They started running his shit, and because he looked more of a gay guy, they jumped him. And they didn't touch me. They came to me and was like, "Oh, why your hair so long?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because I want my hair long. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he said something like, "Oh, like you look like a bitch. Like if I hit you, I feel like I'm hitting a girl." And it's like, what?
Nah, nigga, square up.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, good. Don't hit me.
We were so scared that we kind of ran away and everything, and I felt so bad because they had knives and they ran my boy's shit, and it was the worst feeling ever. But I never understood that, okay, you're gonna jump him because he looks like a dude, but I'm over here, I'm still a dude, and you're not gonna hit me because I look like a bitch because of long hair. I don't get it.
It'll draw more attention.
It's so crazy.
You know what I mean? Because think about it.
How long ago was this?
That was years ago.
High school, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, because if you think about it, if you're assaulting a dude in a public place, because you guys said you were in the park, right?
Yeah, we were just cutting through.
So
we was just trying to get high.
If you see two dudes fighting, you're like, all right, whatever, you can drive by it. If you see a dude beating a girl, you're gonna stop, call the police, stuff like that.
But
So
also, my thing is y'all were just minding y'all business.
Our business. We
you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck did y'all have to do with them? You know what I mean?
well,
for them to think they gotta come over. Yeah.
You know what the square people would say? Well, if they weren't skipping school, what
right,
would have happened to them?
But either way, what the fuck did they
do drugs?
If they're just minding their business, and what they doing ain't affecting you, what the fuck,
It was crazy.
Yeah,
I wrote a poem
that's
about
crazy.
it and everything later on, years later. I called this Skipping Death Park. Yeah.
You got it memorized?
You got it memorized?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah. Okay,
no, I don't. But it's in one of my books somewhere. But yeah, that was an experience I never forgot. That shit was fucked up.
So what's in the future for Ruby? Where are you trying to go?
In the future, well, I've applied for RuPaul Drag Race twice.
You still haven't got accepted?
Come through. I might try that again. I don't think it'll make me happy just to get on the show in a way.
It's just kind of like I did it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, cool, And I mean, I would have to sell my cats to afford some of the outfits I'd have to bring on. But to make it somewhere like that would be dope. I don't need it, but it would be nice. It would be fun. It would be an experience. They have these new ones. I don't know if you guys saw Dragula.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dragula's everything. Oh my God, and I love horror and my Freddy. I don't know, you saw my Freddy Krueger and my Edward Scissorhands. I love that dark gothic kind of look of drag. Oh,
so is that's pretty much
yeah,
a new
they're
thing
on the
that's
third
really
season.
popular. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm tempted to try to apply there because that's a whole different, it's not so pretty and glamorous, and it's glamour, but it's still raw and raunchy and just, I don't know, there's something about it that just attracts me. But for future, even more future, I don't know. I'm going to probably sit down sometime. I always say I'm going to be a 65-year-old lady, still doing drag in just a gown and doing a Mariah Carey song and just collecting. Collecting. I'm just going to stand there in one spot. I give my all. That's it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I have to be in a wheelchair, I might just do it too. Come
so
on, looking like paparazzi.
Are you looking to do it full time, or is it still just Are you considered right now full time? Because you did say you're taking a break. So
I am taking a break. I feel like I'm already full time, but there are girls that do it full time. They have no job, but this is what they do every day.
Correct. Yeah.
That's how they pay their bills.
Yeah.
I mean, mine pays my bills, some of my bills, because I tend to put it towards bills or putting toward the next look, whatever it may be. But
you're saying you know how to manage your money. Understandable.
Ish. I'm still in debt in certain looks. Tito has my receipts.
So you have a tab?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know what's in the future. We'll see what happens. Cause the break is really nice. Like even in my new job, they've been like, wow, you're always something doing every weekend. And I'm like, girl, I know. But it's like, girl, I know. Because it's a blessing to have so many bookings. Like right now, since I started my break, it's only been like a month. And I've said no and denied like about 11 gigs so far.
What's the furthest you traveled for a gig?
The furthest, probably Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yep. I was invited to do, I forgot what town it was. Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I was invited to do 2 performances over there. That was fun. They had their pageant going on. At that time, I think I was still Miss Northampton. So I was able to judge. I was a judge actually in that pageant, and that was fun. That was the first time I got to judge. And it was the hardest thing I think I've ever done. Because usually, you know, when you're watching a show, you're like, ooh, girl, she's a mess. Or, ooh, girl, she's turning it out. Or, ooh, she should have done something different. Ooh, like in your head, like it's like things you talk with people and
now you
stuff,
have to say it to people's face. Like.
But now you're like with the whole, like, you got to put scores. And it's like, damn, this is hard. Like,
you actually
I felt
have to judge
bad.
people.
Yeah, I was like, well, from 1 to 10, that was like a 4, but I'm going to give her a 6. But they were amazing. They turned it out there. They had a lot of talent. Like it was crazy. And I believe that was their winner actually was a bio queen and then a drag king because it was Mr. and Miss.
Can you explain to people what bio queens are?
The bio queens. So the bio queens are women who I believe just love drag. To me, they just love drag. They want to be a drag queen. They want to do drag. And they're literally just women who do drag and they just paint and just turn it out and put on a character too, because everyone can do it. And then the bio kings are like the guys who do it, but they're just exaggerated as well.
Yeah.
So do you know like a lot of straight guys that do it? Or no?
There's this one guy, but he hasn't done it in a long time, so I guess he's not even around. But there are the guys who have full families as well. There are guys who don't identify with anything, and they do have kids. Their kids come to their shows. You know, they kiki with them. They come and support their dad. And I mean, at the time, it's their mama, but yeah, they come out and support. There's a lot of different drag queens out there for sure.
So. Because you brought up the kids part, I was waiting for someone to say kids. Bring this up.
The churn of the corn.
The churn of the corn. How are you with children now doing drag?
I think it's hilarious because I've always said to people like, ugh, I don't like kids. Ugh. But with my nieces, like I love my babies and they're like my children actually. But kids, I don't know. I always used to say I don't like kids. I didn't want kids. And they actually tend to gravitate to me. Like, I'll just be chilling and all of a sudden, like, a child will come up and I'm just like, hey, or they'll be like feisty and I'll be able to calm them down and stuff. So I do have like this thing where maybe I've never acknowledged it, but they're cool. They're pretty cool, and to educate them on stuff like this.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah, I think that's what he was trying
more
to
of
get
my
to.
question is like the younger kid. There's now like kids now having drag pageants, like young kids.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think they should definitely be supported. Oh my God, because God forbid, like there has been younger kids that will take their own lives because
they don't feel right.
They don't feel right. They don't have the support. You know, they don't know what it is they're going through.
Do you feel like labels is the reason a lot of this? Like, if you look at it, like, say there's no labels. Say, like, we're not labeling you as a female. We're not labeling you as a male. We're not labeling you as, like, this is just who you want to be for this time. I wish
there wasn't as many labels.
Yeah, because I feel like at first it was, all right, if you like guys, you're gay. If you like girls, you're
when
lesbian.
I was growing up, it was
if you like both, you're bi.
Yeah,
and then that's it. But now there's so many, as we call it, the alphabets and everything like that, where I feel like
there's categories.
The alphabet itself has made it so much harder instead of just being like, how come you can't just be you and that's what you like?
Just live.
You know, like people always ask me. They ask me all the time, what are you? You know, what is your thing? Are you bi? Are you this or that? I don't have anything. I like what I like. I tell I'm to a point where I have to say like, I'm this. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And like me and my wife both have the same view on life and everything, on everything aspect in our life. And it's just like to a point now, though, it sucks because now you have to raise a kid.
What are you, Math?
Just said.
I just told you, I'm time. I'm a god, all right? That's what I am. I am what I am. I am that I am, you know? Because the thing is, here's the thing. Like, if I label, because growing up, I wasn't black because I sounded too white. I wasn't black because I'm biracial.
I fucking hate hearing that.
You know what?
You talk white.
Yeah.
I hate
or my complexion and your hair.
fucking hate
you're not black because your hair and you sound, you know what I mean? It's just, so I legitly, like when you hear me sometimes on these podcasts and it sounds like I'm being black or sounds like the quote unquote hood, that's for me practicing in high school because the thing was, I was like, hey guys, how you doing? Vocabulary, you know, it's really, but people don't take it seriously.
And I apologize for the side.
No,
track
go
off
ahead,
of this, but like, do you realize what talking white means? Like,
we're labeling education and having a proper vocabulary as being white,
white and not being like that shit gets under my fucking.
Just stop making excuses for sounding white, guys.
Yo,
are you from the valley?
Thank you. Yes,
I know, but that shit gets under my
pumpkin
skin.
latte.
I hate when people say that. Yo, you sound white because I'm pronouncing my words. Like, you mean to tell me that because I speak good English that I can't? Like, you basically said that white people speak better.
Yeah, it's remember what was it?
Hated
when
shit.
BET had Free and what's that other dude?
Free and AJ.
AJ. When they first came on, they English was proper, everything, and then they slowly dumbed it down.
Yeah.
To a point now you had colleges up there. Yeah, this is how we be, yo. You know, this is how we be.
How we be.
Is that even proper English? You know,
Not
and people get
at all.
offended. They get offended now. But anyways, going
offended
But
about
I'm gonna
everything.
cut you off. I want to jump back to when you said
sorry.
like kids run up to you and stuff like that. You ever had a situation where kids run up to you and then like your parents are like trying to like pull them away?
Most
Ooh,
of the
that's
times, I don't think I've ever had that. No, not that. I have gone through a family situation where I was kicked out of their house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they didn't want like Ruby being, you know.
Wait, you came as Ruby and they kicked you out?
Yeah,
or you came
because
as
at one point in time, like I used to be Ruby 24/7 because I thought it was a woman, honey. I'm like, I am a woman. Yeah, I went. I wasn't even looking crazy. Like I was looking cute, honey. It was a summer day. I was in some shorts and a cute little top and sandals in my hair, and
they said nicely.
yeah,
They didn't want
they're
you.
very churchy. They're very.
But I thought churchy were the people supposed to accept everybody.
I know, and not judge.
And not judge.
No. Church is accept everybody that's like you.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you know,
but the meaning behind it is be kind to your neighbor. Yeah, 100%. Like that's really what it comes down to.
Well, my own family member in that house was not kind to their even neighbor or family or nothing. Little bitches.
I'm happy you said it.
But I left. I mean, she was like, "You're not welcomed here." There was a family gathering going on, and she was like, "You're not welcomed here. If you can please leave." And it was like I went there with my cousin. It was like in the boondocks of Westfield. And I left with my head held high. I was like, all right, goodbye. You know,
This
you don't
is
got to
the
tell me
space I need to
twice.
be in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I left and I started walking down the road and I started crying. I was like just in tears. I was like,
Oh, no
so
one was gonna bring you
shocked.
home. They just
Come to find out, I'm like down the road and my cousin pulls up. She's a lesbian of our family. So me and her have always been tight.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, she came out before me, so she had a rough coming out. But, honey, she came up like my knight in shining armor and just picked me up. And some of the other family members peeped it, and they all bounced too. They said, don't think that we're ever like her. Giggity, giggity, goo. You know, boo, 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 boo. And they cried with me. And we was out.
Yeah.
We was out. Never again did I ever see them the same, or do I care to even contact or just know about them.
Yeah, no shit. Because you know what? I hate when people say, "Oh, well, you know, you gotta love your family because blood's thicker than water." Fuck that. Blood is just the blood type.
Family's different than relatives, bro. Family's very different than
This
relatives.
little beach, she's just family because she married into the family. Like, not to put her out there. Which I don't think I'll ever get over it, but it was just so like, whoa. So it's funny because one day my mom was in the hospital, and sure enough, I come to bring my mom some stuff, and she worked in the hospital, and she just so happened to be in my mom's room. And I was like, you can leave. What are you doing here? Like, you can leave.
My mom don't like this kind of hate. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, word.
That's actually one of the reasons I don't believe in religion and God, to be honest. Cause
for real?
Yeah, because my uncle is gay. Right, he died a few years ago from I think he died from AIDS, but he was gay, and he was like the most manliest person ever. Like, he taught me like how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And like, for you and your religion and stuff, shit like that, not to accept him because he likes taking a few dicks every once in a while. It's like, come on, like, what the fuck?
Which he does in the privacy of his own home or something. Like, it's not like he's fucking them in the public.
Exactly.
Not like, hey, yo, come watch this.
Right. You're sitting outside the church steps.
Yeah, he did so much. Like, he used to work for an ambulance. He used to do like a bunch of community events and shit like that. You know, for
but your sexual preference doesn't determine your masculinity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But unfortunately, that's what the world looks like.
I could never accept like God and all that other bullshit because, you know, in the Bible, this and this and that. Well, that's fine, but guess what? I don't gotta believe in somebody that believes that if you do this, then you're gonna fucking burn into fucking what was that?
So the problem is like you see me, I do believe in God, right? Yeah, but I don't believe in the interpretation that everybody has on like the rules surrounding religion. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I have trouble, because you're right. Yeah. The idea is to love thy neighbor. Like, that's it. Like, it's not love thy neighbor that looks like you, that talks like you, that walks like you, that is like you. It's then you're just loving yourself. And that's a selfish thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the idea is to love thy neighbor. Like,
I do.
There's no room in hate there. There's no room for hate in that idea. You know what I'm saying?
I actually try to pray every single day, and I just try to be thankful. The most thing, just for waking up and just being.
But see,
here.
the thing is, people don't understand when it comes to God is like the relationship isn't about what your pastor says, what your deacon says.
It's about your relationship.
It's like me and you have a relationship.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's your relationship.
So when people, everyone believes in something, because even not believing is a belief itself, because you have to not believe in something. You have to make an effort not to believe in it. You know what I mean? But the ideal of religion and church itself has like messed up everything, because what you're doing is fun. Definitely, when you get your new show, let us know. If we could go in there and do a podcast too, that would be dope.
That would be kind of dope.
That'd be dope.
That would be dope.
Actually, I'm doing a couple of looks right now. I started working on them yesterday because I have drag brunch next Sunday. It's a sold out show already.
I thought you was on break.
No, that's the only one I'm doing.
I am on break.
Okay, so
unless it's my show.
Gotta keep the toe in the pond.
Before my break, I couldn't say no. You don't
have to tell us how much, but do you get a good little chunk of change when you do these shows?
Yeah.
Look.
Not that I want to
so much, but you saw that.
So
I dropped
nothing specific. But what do you bring home after taxes? No,
okay. Let me pull out the receipts.
Wait, we talking taxes?
Okay. I gotta go to the bathroom.
A few moments later.
For real. No, they do pay for a lot. Like, some of the shows do pay for a lot, but you do have to invest.
Yeah.
But the good thing about knowing how to do your own shit is that you can save money as well. And if you know how to recycle your shit and make your own shit, you can save a ton of money. You don't have to pay anybody else. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things you want to pay for because you want that look, or you don't know.
Do you pay for a makeup artist a lot, or do you do most of your makeup yourself?
No, I do all my makeup. Yeah.
Right. Because you did say you're an artist, but I know some people who are artists, but still they want that. They have that.
They want to be touched by somebody else. Yeah. But if Tokyo Styles ever came to me like, ooh, I'll be like, honey, beat my face. Or Jeffree Star, you know what I'm saying?
My wife would say that. Beat my face.
Beat my face, daddy.
I think we just talked about it. She does when she's drunk.
Word. Jeffree Star, that's a YouTube guy, right?
Yeah. He's definitely out there. He like reads all the makeup brands for Phil. Yeah. For the gods.
He started that shit mad young, right? He was like fucking.
Leave Britney alone.
What was he, like 12 or something?
Was that who that was?
Yeah, right.
No, that was a different guy.
Was it?
Isn't the?
No, I thought that was
the one that was inside like the little fort. Leave Britney alone.
Yeah.
Was that the same person?
Yeah, I swear it was.
So what's the other guy? The
Wait, the one with the no. Who's the one with the? You're talking about the one with the long blonde, platinum blonde hair with the tattoos all over his body, right?
Yeah. Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star is the other one. Yeah, that one. I'm talking about the. Remember
the white dude that everyone hated for a while?
Yeah, he was like real young when he started doing makeup.
Not the Asian dude, but the white
kid.
Not the Filipino. Is he Filipino boy? The Filipino dude that doesn't.
White.
But there's a white dude that's doing it now. He's like
Brock or something
for a while.
Oh my God, what was his name?
That remember he
Chris
did the video?
Crocker?
I don't even know.
Was that his name?
I don't know. No, I don't think his name is
I know
Chris.
James Charles been getting some backlash.
James
too.
Charles.
James
That's who it was. That's what I'm thinking.
Honey.
How do you feel
Poor
about
little
him?
James Charles. He's cute.
Yeah.
He's cute. I have his makeup palette on my eyes right now, so I
I
can't
bet.
talk a lot of shit. I can't talk a lot of shit because it's my first real palette. So I'm like, okay.
So this is the
it's
Jeffree
cute.
Star one. That's that.
Yes, yes.
But
Honey.
the
Yeah,
other
I know
one,
that,
there was
yeah.
the other kid that has.
I'm working on getting a.
I think I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
Yeah.
No, I
I'm
think it's
trying
the
to
one we
work
just
my
were
way
talking
up to a
about.
James?
Jeffree Star palette.
Yeah.
I need a Jeffree Star palette. I need an Alyssa Edwards palette. I just need more palettes.
Did you just hear about Kylie Jenner selling her 51 shares?
Yeah,
No, but I have her
For
lips on
600
right now
million.
too.
Yeah?
Yes, they're the best lips ever. Girls, get into it.
Yeah, so she just made $600 million off of that.
She just
Selling her
fucking
shares of
millionaire,
what?
just became more of a
But she was
millionaire.
a billionaire and,
No, what was
and
she- what
just
did she-
added 600,000.
What did she share though?
Million. Huh?
Sell though. What did she
Oh,
sell?
makeup, right?
Her makeup, yeah.
Oh, she sold the
Makeup line.
shares. She just sold the
Yeah,
whole
like,
line.
and
She
it was
sold the majority. She still has some of it.
Yeah, so she showed the majority, so she doesn't have to do any of the work.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
She's never
But she
really
still
done any of the
collects.
work,
Yeah, but like she still
I was gonna
collects
say,
money. Yeah.
That shade is cute. Let's do that.
She's like, hold on, let me get my Crayolas.
Yeah.
It matches. I'm not a big fan of. I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate her hustle 100%.
I do love her.
but not just like.
It's easy to make money when you got money.
I rather have her and like.
It's easy to make money when you got
Chloe
money.
than Kim and whatever.
I always
Her
love
daddy.
Kim.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
I always love Kim. I've been a big fan of Kim for
the Ray J
for
days?
a
No, I was
while.
like-
Since handheld camcorders, I've been a fan
was
of
like-
Kim Kardashian.
I like Chloe. I was always a big Chloe fan.
You see her now?
Chloe.
And then who,
Hell
Chloe?
yeah.
You see her now?
She's looking snatched. She's snatched.
Chloe and what's the other sister?
Courtney.
Kendall?
Courtney.
Oh, Kendall.
No,
the
the other one, not
model.
Kendall. I don't. No, Kendall looks like a. Like,
She just looks. She has a boring look.
Me and
looks
my
like she
boo
needs
had
to
a
eat.
talk about them because I was like talking about them, and he's like all about Kendall. He's like, she got her own hustle. She's like, Mom, don't come to my shows. Boo 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 boo.
well, of course, yeah.
Well,
Mom
she
told us
definitely
to
tries to like stray
separate
away
herself
from
the
yeah.
Kardashian look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just she just happens to be so boring though. Like I feel like her look is boring.
It is
The
a
fact-
little.
Thing?
She
Yeah.
could be in Target too, you know.
See, exactly.
Damn.
But she's been in
paying
Victoria's
600
Secret.
million.
Yeah, she's
But
been in
she did the
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's
They're paying
Secret.
$600 million though.
Yo, I'm in
Target
there.
hit me up.
Yeah. Best Buy. I mean,
Best
you name
Buy.
it.
Sears,
yeah.
Their one
Taco
store left.
Bell.
Lord and Taylor.
Yes, just holding a $5 box.
That's it.
Did you guys see the news story of the dude that uses baby as a human shield?
What the fuck?
Oh,
The dude in Philly?
baby, the rapper baby.
No,
Or
a
used
guy
a baby.
used a baby
Didn't
as
the
a
baby
human
get hit?
shield.
From what?
Baby got hit, right?
Yeah,
And
From
died, right?
what?
shot from bullets.
So the baby was getting shot. He picked up the baby.
No. He.
I guess. Pause. Hard left turn.
Yeah, hard,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I saw it earlier or whatever. But so the dude had like a bad drug deal happen, and I don't know. I think
He brought a child to the drug deal.
No. This was after.
Oh, okay.
So he had like a bad drug deal. I think he either used fake money
crazy.
or something, some bullshit. Anyways, so he was driving around. He had the baby and the baby mama in the car. So the dudes were looking for him. Cause I guess he gave him. I think it was bad money or some shit. But they were looking for him, and they didn't care. They just started shooting at him. Nigga grabbed his baby and used his baby as a human shield.
Yeah, that's crazy. Son.
That
You're
shit
supposed
is
to save
nuts.
your baby.
Yeah, he literally picked it up and put it in front of him. So the baby got shot up. Surprisingly, I don't think it died. It got shot. I think like in the head too.
I blame the woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
I blame the woman.
That
Like,
shit was
why the
nuts.
fuck would you procreate with somebody like that?
because that's what they like. There's some girls out there just like that life.
But like, why?
Dude, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like,
What's the attraction to niggas who ain't going nowhere in life?
They're
because the
just
thing is,
turned
they're
the
giving
fuck
them
on.
everything that they feel they have.
I'm trying to find that out. Like,
That's
what's the attraction to guys who have records?
Dog.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
think
so the
it's just
baby was shot
another
4
type of
times.
rush.
But at what age do you get over that?
Does it walk with a limp?
You know what I'm saying?
question.
Like what
Yeah,
age do you
yeah,
get over that and
good
realize like,
question.
yo, being a single mom is not like it's hard.
It's not.
It's fucking hard, and like
not
you're
it.
dealing with somebody who literally can't get a
Because
regular job.
We tell black women that having an abortion is horrible.
What?
And we tell them that birth control is horrible. And we teach women in our communities are minorities over there, that you get more money when you have kids. Everybody knows that. You get
but that's not what I'm talking about.
No, but this is why they have these kids with these niggas.
I've made jokes about having a kid just to claim in taxes. I mean, one child is like, what, 10 G's?
10 G's.
Like, thanks, I'll get everything.
I do be trying to get like one of my nieces and nephews to claim. Yeah,
let me.
I do.
That shit is shady as hell.
I do.
I'm over
I'll
here
split it with you.
Fucking
as we're all admitting to tax fraud. As we're all admitting to tax fraud on a live.
I can't even get $20 of snack benefits.
I'm just saying. I'm working hard, starving. You over here eating lobster and shit. Kids don't even like lobster. Niggas love eating lobster.
Right.
But what I'm saying is like, what's the attraction to? I guess it's like danger, or like it's a like drug dealers like spend their money on whatever, so they don't give a fuck. But
the thing
in
is,
the long run, like that, like that's like a dead end job right there.
No, but
it is.
I
You know what I'm
think
saying? Like eventually it stops.
Because a lot of them aren't like putting money towards the side and saving
No,
up
they
for,
just
like,
y'all just doing a bunch of cool shit
drug
right now.
money
You know
is
what I'm saying?
it goes and goes. It's no investing in that.
They just they make mad money off of drugs and open barbershops.
You don't have a 401k with like drug money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Here, let me know what that pension look like. Let me know. You know what? Show me any movie where the drug dealer made it out alive.
True.
Show me any movie where Scarface stopped before he got shot.
The thing is this: I feel we shouldn't victimize these women though, because these women are just as bad as these drug dealers. We just look at them because they're women. And
I'm not victimizing. I'm saying like, yo, what are you doing?
I'm just saying like they know what they're doing, because if the roles will switch and they could be that power role and have the nigga in the next seat and they're doing
a
also,
boss ass
I would love to take. I would love to take Snapchats. I personally would love to take Snapchats in the passenger seat of a lady's BMW.
Looking like sugar mama.
Living my best life. You know what I'm saying? Like I earned this. Like
Boo just bought me a new chain. Look at the things.
Yo, and it's funny too because you find out that shit ain't yours when that shit ain't yours. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you'll find out. Like you promote you bragging about this shit right now, but as soon as that shit goes sour, you'll find out real quick that BMW turns into a fucking Corolla.
Okay.
Real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like
little putt.
Yeah. That shit turns into it real quick. You back into the apartment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That shit always gets under my skin. I never understood the logic behind it.
Because the thing is, it's not a lot.
And I'm not saying that them niggas don't need love too. Like, I'm not saying that. But if you're dealing with somebody who doesn't realize that the purpose of getting money like that when you're in the hood is to get out of the hood. And like, you know what I'm saying, make a better life for yourself. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I know a couple dudes who had a hard upbringing, who that was the only thing they knew, but they took that and they applied it elsewhere where they don't actually have to continue to do that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're dealing with somebody who can't get out of the mentality that the purpose of trying of making money when you in the hood is to get out, like what are you doing?
It's just, but the thing is, it's just like any job.
I do know some of them that they've bettered themselves.
Oh, 100%. You take your situation and you maneuver with it.
Too,
right. Yeah. Like if I'm making money and all I'm doing is taking trips and you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And all I'm doing is that means I'm not planning for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm only doing this shit because bitches like this shit.
It all comes down to people don't understand or respect money. That's it.
Or themselves.
Themselves.
Or
their
themselves.
mentality.
Yeah, or themselves.
All right, it's too serious. Let's talk about Harriet Tubman real quick. Did
I
hear that story?
Oh, you talking about with what's her name?
Harriet Tubman was a hustler
25
too.
years ago. So 25 years ago, they were putting this movie around, the Harriet Tubman movie that just came out.
Sandra Bullock or some shit right there, right?
No, Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, yeah.
I love Julia
So they wanted
Roberts.
the dude 25 years ago wanted her to play Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts
to play
played
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
How the fuck?
Like Whoopi Goldberg didn't exist.
Right.
yeah, so basically they had told him,
So she would've did
Harriet
it.
Tubman was
Killed it.
black
And would have killed it.
So they was like, oh, it happened. The dude was like, oh, it happened so long ago, they're not gonna know.
Wow.
So imagine 25 years ago, Julia Roberts was fucking Harriet Tubman.
Or straight blackface, yo.
Probably just white. She probably just would have been white.
White with a nice tail
With her
top.
red ass hair.
Maybe just put the thing on her head.
She would have won an Oscar that year.
Yeah, right.
She would have won an Emmy.
Yeah, she
everything,
would've won all of that
everything.
shit.
Yeah.
She would've got that.
Oh, that should have been funny as fuck. Imagine that.
25 years ago. That'd be
Make her a
crazy.
little Asher
25 years
report.
ago.
But
It's
is
not
it,
even that long.
aren't they actually going to take was it Jackson off the 20 and put Harriet Tubman? Is that who's going on the new 20 now?
That was up in the air for a while.
Oh,
But that was like 10. That's been up in the air for like 7 years now.
No, but I thought it was like
Is it really
going to
happen?
2020 or something.
That'd be
I'll double
kinda
check.
dope.
I'll double check. Next podcast.
Oh,
I'll
you
have
saw
on
that
here.
Judge Joe Brown fucking flipped out because of that?
No.
Yeah, he was like, he got dumb mad because the dude was interviewing him. He was like, so how do you feel about that? He goes, oh, that's messed up. He was like, how are they gonna put a black woman before a black man?
Whoa.
He was like, "Oh, you should put Martin Luther King." But how you put Martin Luther King before Harriet Tubman? Harriet Tubman was fucking.
Without Harriet Tubman, nigga, there would be no Martin Luther King.
Yo, and he got mad as fuck. Like he was like,
"Listen, that's the hood. That's why sometimes."
First of all, she was just not to put like a gender to it, but she was just as man as anybody else.
Yeah,
was.
she was.
You know what I'm
she
saying?
had bigger balls than most men.
She was just as tough.
Yeah.
She didn't care.
There was a comedy skit somewhere. I can't remember who it was, and they talked about Harriet Tubman. Like she was like a down ass bitch or like a nigga bitch, where she had to get all these motherfuckers in line just to get them through.
Facts,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So she had to be like,
and she was said it like, if you're not with us, I gotta kill you because you're gonna snitch. If you're not with us, you against us.
What did you say last time? You said last time on the show I was listening to what was the last episode? You said you with us. Anyways, we talking about
fail.
And then fail. I can't think about
Man,
it.
just fail.
I do be dropping some dope one liners.
It was a dope one line, and I had it, but
Yeah, you have to go back and listen to it. I don't remember what the fuck it was. That was last
the
week.
sponsor 3 Olives is getting to me.
Okay. I know I'm like
love 3
slowly
Olives.
coming to it.
I know you said it. You said a splash of yours. I was like,
yeah. That's my kind of splash though.
okay.
Matt was like, let's try to get all the info we can. I know,
Just started up here.
We just opened the bottle with you.
I'm like, are we finishing?
What's one thing you would tell somebody who's a listener that's listening that wants to get into drag? Like, you know,
Nice, yeah.
what
Before that, what would you tell a young person that's
Are having trouble.
having trouble and dealing with the situation that they're in, and they want to come out and stuff like that? Like before you answer that question, before we get a little get a little serious, and then we'll.
That's funny
Calm down.
because I have this 20-something-year-old who's actually been coming to me lately talking about, I want to tell my mom. I tried to tell her 6 years ago, but I don't know how she's going to take it. And it's like, there's not a perfect coming out story. There's not the perfect way of saying it. There's not the right way of saying it. Like, there's nothing right or wrong about it. Like, you just have to say it if you want to live your truth and just, accept who you are and live your life. Like, you just have to say it. There's no right or wrong way of saying it. You don't know what the hell the outcome is. Everybody's story is different. Some of them have really rough stories. Some of them don't. Like, I didn't have a really rough story. Some of my babies do. You just have to own it. And then
I love that you put them under your wing.
I've helped a lot of people.
I love that you put them under
along
your
the
wing.
way.
Yeah.
And I try to just tell them, just let them know how you feel. And then one of the questions was, well, once I tell her, and what about if she asks me, why am I this way? And I was like, well, you just tell her what you feel.
Right.
You just tell her why you're this way. How do you feel? Get all your little information or how you feel correct. So when she does ask, just be ready.
Do you think it's easier nowadays than it was when you were in high school?
I think it's
Because it's gotten a lot more
definitely
integrated
getting-
into culture.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Into like
Yeah.
pop culture and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more open than it was before. Before it was so taboo, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? People were just stonewall realness,
Yeah.
where they had to like go through the riots and everything. I mean, that's a big eye opener. Everyone should like look that up and know their history for sure. For sure. Yeah, just be yourself. Just own it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
But
Be
it's so
happy.
hard in the world
Be
of being
happy.
yourself when everyone's trying to compare themselves to the next person they see on Instagram
You're right
or
about
social
that.
media.
And they shouldn't pay attention to half of that shit. It's all filtered.
Why don't people?
No, you
Yes.
take 20 pictures to get that one good one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've been trying to go less and less on my social media because I like to live in the now, and I don't really want to give so much of myself, to my social media and stuff. Because there was a point where I was just like living through my social media, and I was like, this is not healthy for me. Like,
It's not healthy for anybody.
not for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they definitely got to get away from that a little bit. Somebody was telling me that they were gonna take away the likes.
Oh yeah,
They did it in Canada.
Instagram. Yeah.
They did in Canada. And
It's
at first,
probably
people
the
were freaking
best
out.
thing they will do.
At first, people were freaking out, but then they
Yeah.
realized like it was a lot healthier.
It is.
Yeah.
So you'll still be able to see your likes on your thing, but other people
Right.
won't be able.
But motherfuckers are gonna find ways to just
Oh, of course.
screenshot their
Screenshot
picture,
that
their
photo.
likes,
Or
And then
hashtag
repost
how many
it.
likes.
Right.
but like,
Put it on your
but then you're gonna
story.
be like, all right, you self-indulged piece of shit. Like, no, but like, this isn't the world anymore. Like, cut this shit out. I mean, I think that'll help out big time, and like just everybody trying to promote their own brand,
Yeah.
where everybody's equal, level the playing field.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just be you. Fuck it.
Question: Do you
What's
know
that?
this person right here? Have you ever worked with them?
Who that is?
You just scroll through it. Go ahead.
You want to say the
that's
at
my baby.
so people know who you're looking at?
Yes, that's Angel.
What's the at?
Oh. I wanted to get him on the show too once before. This is
That's Angel. I love him.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
a baby queen.
Is it Angel Muriel?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe her name is drag is like Versace or something.
I think something.
can't
I forgot
remember.
the
or Dolce.
I have to check.
Dolce
I think there's some
Gabbana.
pictures there. But yeah, like I met
remember.
when I saw him first.
Vivian.
That's what.
Vivian,
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Because
My bad.
our viewers don't know, our listeners don't know what you just pulled up, so we might as well just say the name
On the
Yeah.
Instagram.
on the gram.
Yeah, at Angel Morel. Yo, he's a wonderful person,
I
beautiful
love
soul and
him.
everything. Like overall, beautiful human. When I first saw him, I was like, "Yo, dude, can we come through?" I was doing a magazine, like, "Yo, you model." He's like, "Oh, I do drag." I was like, "What? That's even better. Can we do both?"
Yes.
Like, have one part of some pictures with you, and it's you, and then flip it over. Cause, man, let me tell you, some of these, like, I gotta give it to Jay. Like, y'all be taking things and blowing it away, making like. Taking a regular busted, crusty looking nigga and making it look like a problem.
Okay.
Yo, I mean, like,
Change
dead
reality,
ass.
son.
Okay.
That's
You
what
know?
it is, man.
Like when Eddie Murphy was
a
caught with
different
that
world,
train,
man.
I'm like, yo, you can't blame him. You can't blame him.
Yeah. She was fierce, honey.
I don't know.
Yo, on the way here, it's so funny because it's like you have your busted queens and then you got like the little cute one, sexy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Being pretty gets you a long way, but I was like going through it because in a while, I haven't gone through this, but I'm like ordering my coffee and I'm like, can I get a medium ice, 1 cream, 3 liquid sugars, and a turbo? And I get to the window and it was a fellow queen over there, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up, I'm giving my card, and he's like, "Oh, it's showtime, huh?" And I'm like, "Something like that." So I go to give my card. He's like, "No, you're good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
There you go, the perks of the trade.
Take care of each other.
But see, it's messed up because a busted queen wouldn't get that privilege to still charge that bitch.
Well, fuck it.
Well, that's the way the world is. Busted girl ain't gonna get everything.
I'm like, poor little
Busted dude ain't gonna get it.
Drag or not, that's the way of the
That's
fucking
the way of the world.
Yeah, you're right.
Drag or
You're
not,
right.
you
That's
an
the way
ugly
of the world.
person, you ain't getting nothing for
Life
free.
is hard when you ugly.
All right, so we're gonna start wrapping this up. Let's get back to your question. What was it, the drag? Like how to get into it, right?
Yeah. If anybody wants
any
to get
advice,
into it,
yeah.
what advice or how would you tell them to start? Like if somebody was sitting there, like in their room, marching up and down, but now they're ready to come out, but they just don't know exactly how.
They got their outfits and the duct tape ready, all that.
Just to like where, like if you were to tell somebody, what would like the first place to start? Like when I was doing comedy, everyone's like, well, the first thing to do is just go to an open mic. So I just went to any open mic. I just like, you know what? Looked up some open mics, went there, bam, enjoyed it.
That's pretty much the same advice. Like if you want to do it, just go for it. Definitely get like a good set of makeup. Invest in makeup. It's all an investment in the beginning. You have to invest in order to look any type of way. But just put on some heels, put on a wig, get a lace front preferably, and just go out. Go out. If you don't go out and take that first step, you're never gonna grow. Yeah. You're never gonna grow. You're gonna be stuck behind that closed door all the time. But don't give a fuck about who anybody says. You definitely have to have tough skin in this community and in this little nightlife gig realness because
is it a
dog
world?
It
ain't for the weak.
It ain't for the weak. It ain't for the weak. And just be humble about your shit too. Don't try to knock anybody else down. If anything, just try to help out as much as you can. You might not know something, and then ask questions too. You don't know something, ask. You know, there are people out here who will help you.
Yeah.
They will help. Sometimes it's shady as hell, but you have to have tough skin for that.
Is there
because
anybody you
with
would
this
shout out
business,
on Instagram that's like really good to follow and stuff like that? I mean, I'm pretty sure they know, but just
Nah, fuck that. Tell them your Instagram.
right?
that's what I was gonna get. I was about to say, or like you.
Well, my Instagram is Miss Ruby Monroe. You guys can follow me there. Facebook is Ruby Monroe. Snapchat, you can get on there somehow. I won't tell you that, but it's Ruby Kiss One.
Wait,
just kidding.
Do you do premium Snap? You have a premium Snap? I want to know. Do you do premium Snap?
Not yet.
I just
for like the last 4 weeks, all we've been talking about is finding somebody with a premium.
I just want to see, like, but hey, if you make money that way, make money that way too.
I know.
An OnlyFans account.
OnlyFans account.
Bring it out, honey. That's a gig.
Ka-ching.
For real. Approved. One thing before I go, what I definitely have to always make a part of nowadays, and I have to educate my babies on, and anybody and everybody, is know your status. Word. Know your status. Get tested. Yep. Get tested. Know your status. Everybody and anybody. I'm making it a thing. In the last year, I've been making it a thing where anytime I host, I'm at a gig, I'm at a public anything, anytime I can bring it up, know your status. # know your status. Get tested. I go to Brightwood Clinic here and Plainfield. You can go to 141 Main or Maple Street. You can go to Holyoke, go to Bay State, go to Mercy, as long as you know your status. There's a lot of shit and shiesty people out here. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you have to know your status. Take care of your body. It's the only one you have. You have to make it last as long as possible. Okay, and if you don't know about PrEP, get on it. I'm on PrEP. I've been on PrEP for maybe a little over a year, and it's like the best thing ever.
Can you explain a little bit about it?
So PrEP is a pill a day. When you first start it, you get tested for HIV. If you qualify, they'll put you on it. So after the first 2 weeks, it goes into your bloodstream, and then it creates barriers around your cells that in case someone that you mess with unprotected, or let's say your condom breaks or whatever the case may be, there are shiesty people out there that will try to pass it on purpose sometimes, and there's horrible stories. But with PrEP, you can assure yourself that you're protecting your body from in case someone shiesty comes your way or they don't tell you that they're HIV or AIDS positive. It'll protect your system. But
it's not 100% proven yet to do that, correct?
From what I know, it is. Like, it protects you, like, maybe it's like 99.9.
I would say, I've heard, there's this
shit,
thing.
Everybody should be taking that shit.
But it's amazing.
But you have to call. There's a certain thing that's supposed to.
I mean, you still want to wear condoms. You still want to do all your like protection stuff. But in case you do get crazy, at least you know. That you're protected from one thing, because that's for life. Anything else, they'll give you pills, and
correct.
You know what I'm saying. Your chlamydias, your stuff like that, it'll go away. But
I talked to a porn star one time, and he said that's the only thing they care about. Yeah, the shit that is the shit that won't go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So know your status. That's my thing.
No, appreciate that.
Yes, I have to make it known.
But all right, thanks for coming.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, we are a wrap. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube,
all that good shit.
Want. So if you want to see Miss Beautiful Ruby, go on YouTube and watch our video.
Yep.
And I'll take my wrap with some honey mustard.
Hey. We out. Peace, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.